are getting a tremendous increase in the number of complaints from people about arbitrary cancellations, illegal refusals to pay health claims, hospital bills, doctor's bills.
It's time for me to collect, and they're saying no.
More and more Americans who think they're the lucky ones, think they're fully covered, are finding out they're not.
If they know they're going to get penalized for cheating somebody, they won't cheat the next person.
Attorney Bill Shernoff.
If they know they have immunity from all prosecution, all lawsuits, all damages, when they cheat somebody deliberately or do something maliciously, they'll do it again and again and again because they save money.
Couldn't it have been an honest mistake that any big corporation could make?
If it was just a mistake, when somebody brought it to their attention, they would have rectified it. Well, the doctors brought it to their attention several times and they ignored it. And it was only after we worked around the clock and ran into federal court to get an injunction did they finally call us.
Aetna finally agreed to pay for the procedure, but they declined our repeated requests for an interview.
A judge in Los Angeles today prohibited the State Farm insurance company from controlling.
William Shernoff has built a big law practice by taking insurance companies to court. He practices in California, one of 25 states which apply punitive damage awards when fraud is proved. In the last 6 years, Shernoff has won more than $10 million in punitive damages, plus many times that amount in out-of-court settlements with insurance companies.
They define the terms the way they want to define the terms. Nobody can argue with them. They have their own dictionary. Sometimes they tell you that it's not covered, and they point to a clause that nobody can understand except them. They have their own definition of it, and that's it. Who are you going to argue with?
So you end up in court.
You end up in court. Maybe. 9 out of 10 do not end up in court. That's the tragedy. Maybe it's 99 out of 100 don't end up in court because they believe the insurance company. They respect authority. They get a letter from an insurance company that says we don't pay this claim because of this clause in that policy. 99 out of 100 of them believe it, and that's the end of it. Maybe 1 out of 100 will find a lawyer.
And should you believe your insurance company?
I wouldn't.
Elmer Norman, a retired apartment building manager from Azusa, California, is Shernoff's most celebrated client. His outsized headset is a hearing aid. He is almost totally deaf. When Norman's insurance company, Colonial Penn, turned down a $48 claim for a hearing test, he canceled his policy and filed a lawsuit. Shernoff charged that Colonial Penn had sent out letters to policyholders, retired people in a group plan, telling them their coverage was being improved. The letter said, these improvements automatically will become part of your coverage, with absolutely no increase in your monthly premium.
We got a hold of many of their internal memorandums, subpoenaed documents from the company's corporate headquarters, and we discovered, rather than being new and improved, that the new policy actually had a 40% reduction in benefits, which would have saved the company, or did save the company, $4.5 million a year.
The court, finding for Norman, awarded him that amount, $4.5 million in punitive damages. The award was later cut to $2 million. Still, Norman's original $48 insurance claim had turned into a bonanza for him and his attorney.
Welcome to Larry King Live.
From our Los Angeles studios, along with attorney William Shernoff. Attorney Shernoff has written the book, How to Make Insurance Companies Pay Your Claims and What to Do if they don't. Are these insurance companies looking to beat the game, or is this just the way the cookie crumbles?
No, they're really looking to beat the game, Larry. For example, in the first case you've discussed, I really have to say Dr. Blitz's explanation is pure baloney.
So you think Sheila and Jane are going to win in court?
Absolutely. In Sharon's case here, what they did is they canceled while they were in the middle of the claim. Larry, that's like canceling your fire insurance while your house is being burned down. They had insurance that was in full force and effect, like every employee has through their group. Everybody has medical coverage through work. And you know what happens? When they get a claim that is so serious that they can't work anymore, they get canceled right in the middle of their claim.
When a company goes out of the group business, are they supposed to keep paying claims? How do you go out of the group business? What if you're a company and you don't want to stay in the group business?
That's fine, but you still pay the claims that were in full force in effect while the policy was there. Just like they do this all the time. For example, if one of anybody's employees gets hurt so bad, when you need insurance is when you're in the hospital or you're having surgery. They can't cancel you retroactively. This is ripping off people.
Everybody involved in the lawsuits is being blamed. The lawyers who take cases on a contingency basis are accused of asking for outlandish amounts to push up their fees. Juries are accused of going haywire. And victims are being blamed for suing frivolously.
Nobody's talking about today cutting the fees of the insurance lawyers. Everybody is talking today about cutting the fees of the lawyers that represent the little people that are injured.
Our guest, attorney William Shernoff, has written a book about how to combat unfair insurance practices.
There are ways to tackle this problem, and this book is full of examples of ordinary people, senior citizens, people that didn't have money to hire a lawyer or do anything, have actually brought big penalties on these companies.
This is CNN.
We're talking about insurance companies this hour and getting what's due you. It's David versus Goliath, the consumer versus the insurance company. At least that's the way William Shernoff sees it. He calls himself a one-man prosecutor going around the country imposing fines and penalties on insurance companies for illegal conduct. Welcome to Take Two, Bill. Why don't they want to pay up?
They make more profit by delaying, and sometimes if they shortchange people, they can make more profits. Sometimes it's confusion. Sometimes an adjuster thinks the quickest way up the corporate ladder is to perhaps shortchange people on claims. It's a variety of reasons, but the bottom line is people aren't getting what's due. They pay premiums year after year. They expect protection that they pay for, and then when they have a little claim or a medium-sized claim, many people have problems, and it's frustrating. They don't know where to turn or what to do.
Who can afford not to have medical coverage these days? That's exactly what happened to Donna Dicker, who's here with her attorney, William Shernoff, author of Payment Refused.
I see so many people, when they put in a claim, the insurance company looks through and tries to find a loophole. Tries to wiggle off the hook,
But they haven't always done that, have they, Bill?
Well,
or
they've done it
in recent years.
They've done it more and more.
Is it getting more so?
Well, it's getting, we think it's getting worse, but I'm biased because I represent people
That are going through it.
They're going through it, and we have some good laws on the books now where we can actually punish an insurance company and make them pay for trying to take advantage of people like Donna.
26 KMPH, Visalia, Fresno.
This man, Julius Warren of Sunnymead, has just been awarded $4.1 million by a Los Angeles jury. He had bought 3 Colonial Penn Medigap supplemental policies, the kind that are often advertised to senior citizens through the mail and on TV by celebrities. Then he was hit by a car in Santa Ana.
There's nothing wrong with the hospitalization having to be medically necessary, but who makes that determination? Should it be the treating doctor, or should it be the insurance company that's paying?
Bill Shernoff, Warren's lawyer, contends the Colonial Penn case is typical because seniors do not realize the benefits of these policies are usually only for acute care.
They will not pay for a skilled nursing facility. They will not pay for a extended care facility. They will not pay for a convalescent home. And the statistics in this country are that people stay in acute hospital care settings only maybe a week or two.
What was your feeling when finally the verdict came out in your favor?
Well, I'm thankful to God that I had Mr. Shernoff and his associates and my other attorney, Anthony Ward, because I never would have got anything.
Alberta Slavin shows how consumers in 25 other states can collect enormous punitive damages.
If they do not.
William Shernoff, a California trial lawyer, has won some dazzling victories for his clients.
Many state insurance commissioners take the position that punitive damages cannot come out of operations and make the rates go up, and must come out of surplus.
Every regulator's concern is the problem of insolvency.
For any insurance company to say, we're just going to pass it on the consumer, it's just a reflection of their mentality to say that I was fraudulent, but I'm going to make you, the customer, pay for it.
And that's the way it works.
Historically, this has been very weak regulation. The insurance commissioner in most states is their buddy. He came from the insurance industry, and then he went to serve a tour of duty as the insurance commissioner. And 99 times out of 100, when his tour is up, he goes back to a better job in the insurance industry.
What is your background coming into this position?
I was in the insurance business as a broker and agent for some 32 years.
Missed one payment in years of 40 to 25 years, whatever she paid.
Now that's terrible. That's, to me, a good example of insurance abuse. Here, I've seen this happen. You want to sit down and cry. People are in the hospital room, they have cancer, they're in intensive care, and somebody comes in and says, by the way, your insurance has been canceled. I mean, it's heartless. Sometimes I think these insurance people, hearts couldn't get through metal detectors in airports.
Concern insurance, really, but it concerns another, one of his peers. I feel that I got ripped off, and I'd like to talk to him about it.
Okay, you're talking about William Shernoff? Okay, what's your question?
Well, the question, I want to find out what I can do to get my money back from an attorney.